Hello everyone, welcome to the Puffball Party here on the Nintendo Super Power Club Challenge channel with Bill, your host. Today we have a pretty historic occasion here. We are tackling one of the top cards in the collection here, and I'm not talking about skill or challenge or fun factor. This is Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy, and this is card numero uno, number 1 in the collection. So Kirby clearly needs no introduction. This is where he got his big break, right here on the Game Boy, and then obviously he branched out onto other games and other systems, most notably Kirby's Adventure on the NES, with 2 separate challenges that we previously completed not too long ago here. But as for the Game Boy, obviously very, very fun, still talked about, still played to this day, and it has an extra difficulty mode for those who have already mastered it. Speaking of which, let's talk about that a little bit in this challenge. Let's flip over the card. Well, if you've ever played the NES version of this game, you kind of know what to expect already on the challenges. So take a look. Challenge says, can you finish the game without Pro losing a life on the hard level, or as they call it, extra mode? Now, I'm not going to lie, this is a pretty daunting challenge on paper, especially if you've never played the game before, which I definitely hadn't played much of it as a kid up till now. So if you don't know anything about this, Kirby's Dream Land consists of 5 levels. The first 4 are regular, and then the final level is basically a boss gauntlet. You gotta beat the previous 4 bosses, plus a final boss. Oh, by the way, no health refills throughout that entire final level. So good luck with that. Absolutely, extremely difficult, but it can be done, as you're about to see here. The key, of course, is that last level. We're gonna show you how to get through all the previous levels, as well as that dastardly final level. And with time and practice, I promise you will be able to do this. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy. Here we go! Alright, first things first, in order to access extra mode, you need to hit up, select, and A at the same time on the start screen, just like this. Extra mode will pop up. From here on, you're going to start the game just like normal, and it's pretty much the same thing as the regular game. Obviously, there will be more enemies here, and oftentimes they will deal more damage. So clearly, you're going to have to take your time, unless you're a Kirby god, in which case you wouldn't be watching this video. So definitely take your time here. This is a tricky section right here, and a tricky enemy for that matter here, because the cream that comes off the pie needs to be avoided, and it can very easily damage you if you're not careful here. So just be aware of that right there. That's probably the toughest enemy you're going to have to worry about in the early going here. There's a couple of them, so just be wary of them. And really don't be too upset if you take damage here, because there's plenty of opportunities, as you saw early on, to recover your health. You're going to have potions here which recover 2, and then the big M potions that will recover your entire health here. This little sub-boss is pretty easy to kill. Just make sure that you jump up when you blow the bomb back at the enemy here. If you try to shoot it when you're on the ground, oftentimes you're going to hit the bomb just like that. So suck in the bomb, jump and shoot, and then the enemy will be gone pretty simply here. As for the rest of the stage, it's just a lot of taking your time. That's probably the toughest enemy you're going to encounter here. So just get the cream as it comes out, and that's really all you got here. Just a lot of simple enemies that you really don't have to worry too much about. Those black enemies are brand new in the hard mode, so take your time. We only got 2 hearts left, or 2 stars rather I should say. I'm so used to hearts in these games. But it's really not that big of a deal. You will have more occasions to get your health back here, so don't worry about it. Take your time. Lots of slow moving enemies here. Those black enemies, of course, can be problematic. So take your time. Take your time. If I said take your time enough? I don't know. Take your time. That's really the biggest piece of advice I'm going to give you here. Now we're getting close to the end. We're in this tree. We're going to go up. A lot of slow-moving piggies here. Again, I'm not worried about health just right now, because there will be a big M potion up here that will refill our entire health bar. And where is it exactly? Well, it's right up here. So take care of these enemies with a puff of air. Not too big of a deal. And then you got this M potion right here. Boom. Your entire health bar is refilled to the max. And we're coming up on the boss. The first boss is coming up. It's this big, ugly monster tree we all know. It's the easiest boss in all of existence in the first Kirby game. But in the extra mode, it's a little bit tougher than that. And you're going to see what I mean here. So first of all, you're going to have these spike urchins that come down from the ground. They will deal massive damage if they hit you, as in 3 bars of health, just like that. 2 of them instantly kills you, so please be aware of those. Not a whole lot else to say here, so just get the apples. I'm not doing a great job here, obviously, but I'm not too worried because despite my struggles, the boss is still not that difficult. If you find that you've just shot the apples back at the enemy here, get close to the tree because oftentimes he'll shoot puffs of air that will damage you for decent chunks of health here. So yeah, despite the problems we had, we still got through it, and I'm not that worried because every time you start a new stage, guess what? You get a full health bar, so instant refill. Now, clearly that won't be the case toward the end of the game here, especially in the final level, so you gotta take your time then. But right now, not too bad. You can get the mic upgrade right there, kill the enemies, or just keep on moving. I'm gonna move just like this, suck in the enemies, shoot them out, just standard Kirby stuff right here, nothing you can't handle. We're going to keep on moving through. Now this can be kind of ugly here. This enemy here will wake up when you get close to it, so don't speed past that. Wait till you wake him up, kill him, and then move yourself on down here to the left. In through the door, we're going to move on to the next section here. This can be a little problematic if you don't take your time. So you're going to have a place to refill your health if you need it, right down here. Clearly we didn't, I'm just demonstrating. Now right down here, you're going to have a few underwater enemies that shoot projectiles you'll have to worry about. So just wait till the time is right. It's not too difficult. Just wait till you're safe and then go underneath. Another sea urchin. And then you're through this section right here. That wasn't too difficult here. This is the last major vertical section of this level here. Now this is an invincibility potion, or lollipop I guess I'll call it. Obviously, you want to pick it up here because it'll make the next section up until the star a complete joke. It's a complete cakewalk. Just go all the way to the end, touch the star, and that's the end of the first part of this level here. We're going to move on. And what do we got through here in the castle wall? Lolo? Well, yes, don't be too surprised. Lolo was made by HAL, which also made Kirby's Dream Land. A lot of people don't realize that, but yes, they are not one and the same, but very close. So yes, you are going to have to fight Lolo here, and basically you're just going to have to suck in the blocks as they're pushed toward you, or if you know Lolo, they're emerald framers. So suck in the framers and shoot them back once the sea urchin has been shot toward you here. It may take a little bit of time because Lolo will not always play by your rules here. So get it, shoot it back, and again, don't worry if you take damage, if you take a hit or two, it's not the end of the world. And the upcoming boss toward the end there is not so difficult you're going to end up losing a life. So it's not that critical here. Now here you're going to have a vertical section of steps, just go all the way up into the door. This is the last major section of this level here. You're going to go all the way up, get the health if you need it. Again, you don't necessarily need to have a full life bar for the upcoming boss, but of course it's good to have. Speaking of which, we're very close right now. So kill these enemies, continue to move on forward. We have another door here, nothing too difficult. And here's our bosses, I should say. We have Lolo and Lala. Yes, if you remember Kirby 3, you got the chance to play as Lala as well. So both protagonists are now antagonists, and they are bosses in Kirby's Dream Land, if you can believe that. Interesting turn of events here. So the way this works, as you can clearly see, it's very similar to the original boss fight with Lolo that we had here. You're just going to have to take both of them on at the same time. The major problem, of course, is that you need to make sure that you are not getting in the way and pushed and shot and killed by those framers that they push. So just suck in the blocks just like you did previously, jump up or jump down when it's safe, and then shoot the framers right into Lolo or Lala, whoever it is that's still alive at the time. Once you do that, it's on to the next level here, nothing too difficult. Now, as you probably noticed right there, if you're holding on to a box or a framer for too long, eventually Kirby will suck it in and you will have to waste your time getting another one. But even so, it's not that difficult here. So that's Lolo and Lala gone out of the way. That's 2 levels gone and out of the way. And we are just about halfway through this game now, almost. We're moving into level 3 right now, and the game is clearly going to get tougher. Wait till you see the boss, by the way. Float islands. We're going to have a couple things you got to be aware of here. Mostly it's the same enemies that we've seen, but of course the level layout will get a little bit trickier here. Now you're going to have coconuts here that fall down from the trees. You need to be aware of them. That bomb, by the way, could have been sucked up and blown back at the enemies, but it's not too difficult here. There is a tricky section coming up toward the next island section. Not here, but beyond. I'll show you exactly where it is. You're going to have to come up to spawn the enemies and then fly back, because if you don't, you're going to get bombarded here by these enemies coming out of the ground. That's not it. It's going to be coming up right about here. You're going to trigger 3 enemies coming out of the ocean, fly back immediately to avoid them, and then continue flying forward, staying up as high as you can. That's how you're going to get through that probably trickiest section of this level right here. One of the trickiest, certainly. You can get the microphone if you want it, but honestly I think it's more trouble than it's worth. I find every time that I try, I end up taking a hit. Watch out for these falling, exploding coconuts here. They can be quite annoying. Just kill them, shoot them all down, and move on through. We're through that section, probably one of the toughest sections in this level, if not the toughest. Now fall down here, I wouldn't say fall down, but float down, kill these enemies. If you're low on health, you can go over this way to the left. I'm just demonstrating, I don't need to do this. And there's a potion here, but beware because this enemy will come down and he'll try to shoot you here. If you're full on health, obviously don't worry about it. Continue moving up over to the right. You will have some enemies here. Sometimes they are invisible, and I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's just the way it is when I'm playing the game right now. But float over across, you'll have some spikes. Shoot out these blocks at the top when it's safe. You're going to want to get 2 of them, and then continue to float on over here. So far, so good. Nothing too terrible. You can go up if you want to for another health refill. You can see even on extra mode, it's not that difficult here, at least not this section. You got plenty of opportunities to refill your health. Obviously, what have I been saying? What's the magic key phrase? Yeah, you know it. I'm not going to repeat it. I'll put it up there for you. So just do that and continue to play on here. Now we've got Fireball Hadouken shooting Kirby. Interesting little concept here. Take advantage of it, but problem is it's not going to keep you invincible from all those cannonballs here. So do what you got to do. I do want you to go in this door here. Something you want to see. There's a potion. There's a 1-up also. Now, obviously, in a regular playthrough, a 1-up would be very nice. But in a game like this where you can't lose a life at all, it's kind of pointless, but there it is. And you're going to continue to move over, wait till there's a gap in the cannonballs, and safely move through. Man, that was close. Got another doorway, don't jump, and here we are. Here's the star that'll take us to the next section of level 3 here. We're very close to the boss, by the way. We've spoken about it previously. And what's this shooting in the background? Why, yes, we got stuck in a whale spout, and we get shot out all the way, and we're pretty much back in the clouds, and we're near the end of the level right here. So just take out these enemies as it's safe if you want to, or not, I really don't care. And then you have this magic conch, I guess, and Kirby turns into a puffball shooting machine that will fly indefinitely here. And here's the boss, the blimp from hell, as I'll call it. It is so annoying. Very, very difficult. I gotta say, it's probably the toughest boss in the game, right behind the final one. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Again, it does not matter too much how much damage you take here. As long as you have at least 1 left by the end of the fight. Remember, you get a free health refill at the end here. Just keep on shooting. Avoid the projectiles if you can and if you want to, but just continue to shoot and play smart as you can, and you will get through this. Moving on to stage 4, Bubbly Clouds. Again, you would think it gets more difficult as you move on here, and to an extent you're right, but you're going to see that the number of health refills make this level not nearly as difficult as you would think it is here. So we're going to continue to move, play it very safe. These cannonballs will cause you a problem and can be nightmarish if you don't know what's coming up here. These enemies, if you don't know what they are, do not try to suck them in. You need to blow puffs of air at them in order to take them out. If you attempt to suck them in, they will come at you as demon bats and try to kill you instantly, so be very cautious of that. All the other enemies in the game I found can be sucked in and inhaled. By the way, this section and these enemies can be very annoying as well. What you want to do is kill the first enemy and then suck in the umbrella. Use the umbrella to shoot the enemy, kill it, and suck in the umbrella. Repeat the process until you get to the cannon right here. Go underneath, jump and shoot, kill one of these, and wow, normally I take a hit there. I got very lucky not to. This section right here, kill the first one, shoot it back at the second, repeat the process. Otherwise, you're going to have boomerang shots all the way through to the spike section here, and you don't want that. Now, this section right here is a joke and a half. All you have to do is stay as a Kirby Puffball and fly up the top of the screen. You can very easily fly over everything. It is a very poorly constructed level right here. Fly over, drop down, and you're through this section. Just watch out for the boomerangs right there. Now, this section right here, be very careful. Not too difficult, but also be very excited when you get here because there is a free health refill, actually 2 free health refills coming up. As long as you go slow, screen by screen, section by section, this is an extremely easy portion right here. Just suck in, inhale the enemies, and get rid of them as you can. Now go over to the far left here. It doesn't look like there's anything here, but as you get over, hit up, there's a hidden door right here, and then you have the magic conch, as I like to say. Get the free health refill, and oh, by the way, just in case that wasn't enough, here's an M potion. You get a free max health refill. Stay up top of the screen, fly over these enemies, get through the door quickly before you get shot, and here is a sub-boss showing you of things to come. Now this section right here, this boss, all you gotta do is suck in the bomb, jump up and shoot. If you try to shoot it when you're on the ground, you're gonna see it's gonna miss most times. Don't worry if you take a hit or two right here, it's not the end of the world. Eventually what's gonna happen is Kirby will get pushed back into the corner, and you can also duck. So I would say stay in the corner and duck to avoid the boss right there. Suck in the bomb when it's safe, and then jump and shoot as it's possible. And eventually you'll take this boss down here. It's a whole lot of wash, rinse, repeat, and eventually you'll get it. Nothing too terrible. One more time ought to do it. Boom, we're on to the next section of the level here. Now remember that because you are going to see this boss again at the very end of stage 4 here. Now here we got a waterfall, we fall down, here's the magic conch once again. Is it? Kinda, sorta, yes, except this time you have free reign. Now this is important if you're low on health. Stay low to the ground, shoot, 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 move, move, move. There's another M potion right there. You're full health again. That's the last one you're gonna get for the remainder of this stage, so take advantage of it. Don't take any more hits for the rest of the level here, because you might need some health at the very end for this boss, which is coming up very soon. Now here, you're gonna have another Hadouken Kirby right here, as I'll call it. Just shoot, shoot, shoot. Kill everything in sight, keep on moving. Watch out for the falling stars. They can damage you and ruin your day. Although it's not the end of the world if you do get hit. The final boss of this level is not so difficult that you need a full health bar, but it's still nice to have. Now here's the last section before the boss. Stick over to the right to avoid this boomerang guy, kill him, and then continue moving on up. Stick over to the far right. You can kill these enemies if you want to. It's not really necessary though. Here's your doorway. You can go in that moon, by the way. If you remember Kirby's Adventure, you can get an extra life or maybe even a health potion, but it's not really necessary here. Now here's the boss, Krakow here. All you're going to do is suck in the bombs just like previously, jump and shoot. Where it gets tricky is right here. When you see the boss look straight at you and move back slightly, he's going to dive bomb in your direction. That's when you want to jump up out of the way. Once you've got the pattern down, as I've said previously, it's just a cycle of wash, rinse, repeat. You're going to continue to do this, and then eventually the boss will go down. Unfortunately, I have a bit of bad luck here as the boss continues to dive bomb me. It's not really a case where I have to worry about dying, but you just have to watch the eyes, and eventually he'll go down. But I think I had one occasion here, it was either in this playthrough or a previous one, where the boss dive bombed me I think it was 5 or 6 times before I finally got another cycle of bombs here. And maybe this was it. I got 1, 2, oh no it wasn't. I got lucky here. I didn't have to cycle through that. So that's it with Krakow, and we are now into the final level of this game. And as I've said previously, this is where the challenge is won or lost, right here in the final level. Because you gotta remember, there are no health refills in Mount Dedede Stage 5 here. So this is a straight skill shot all the way to the end of the game right now. It is hardcore. You better know what's coming up here. And basically, it's a boss gauntlet, very much like Mega Man. Now, I highly recommend tackling these stages from easiest to hardest. First one is the bottom right. You're going to go off this platform, stick to the right, free fall. You're going to count 2 spiked columns. There's 1, there's 2, and there's Kirby right there. Fall on him, he'll kill every enemy remaining in the stage. And it's the same idea in all of these subworlds. You have to find Kirby, touch him, and then you can move on to the end of the level here. So once that's done, you're going to fight Krakow once again, and it's the same process and procedure you had the first time. Now, here's where it gets interesting. As I've said, there are no health refills in this entire boss gauntlet up to the end of the game. So you need to be flawless here, because there will come a time where you're almost assured to take damage. These first couple bosses have to be flawless, because I promise you, when you get to the blimp stage, unless you are a god and you have a lot of luck on your side, you're probably going to take a few hits here. It's extremely difficult to get through that boss fight without taking damage, although it can be done. We got one more to go. Boom! There's the last bomb hit, and we are through that one without taking a single hit. Thank God, because we're going to need it. Next one I recommend is Lolo and Lala. This stage is not too difficult either. Gotta go up, kill a couple enemies here. Watch out for this enemy that will come after you quickly as soon as you get within realm of it. Don't take a hit. Blow it back, and then stick up top. Fly up top. Bypass everything that you see here. And there's Kirby. You can touch it, and we're going into Lolo and Lala. We're now into boss fight number 2. It's the same idea, same process. Just take in the framers, shoot them back, play it safe. You absolutely cannot afford to take damage a single hit up until the very end here. So play very safe and cautious. Once again, eventually you're going to get 3 hits. You're going to take one of these guys out here, and it'll get much, much simpler here. But put yourself in positions where you know you can escape if you get caught in a pickle here. So I definitely wouldn't stay in the top section there, and I probably wouldn't stay here. Put yourself in an area where it's easy to get out of the way. Just a few more hits will do it. We're halfway there. 2 more hits. Same old process. I recommend sucking in the block and then waiting for the enemy to come back from another section here. Don't try to suck it and blow it back in one fell swoop. Give it time. Once again, remember, there is no time limit in this game. You can take your time. We only got a couple hits. I think we get one more here. Here comes the last one. Get up behind it, and I probably could have shot it right there, but oh well, whatever. I'm not too worried about it. I know I'm not going to take any damage in this boss fight. Boom! That's 2 down, with 2 to go, and the boss. Now this next one here, we're going to go up to the tree. It's going to get trickier here. The boss fight with the tree on hard mode is absolutely more difficult, but I would say that the stage lead up to it is trickier than the boss itself, if you can believe that, because of the cream pie enemies here. Watch out for the cream. Once it's out of the way, fly down and around, and you're basically there. So just watch out for the urchins. You can't go in there until you touch Kirby, which we just did. And now we got the boss fight here. This one is definitely a step up from the other two, and this is why I recommend saving it towards the second half here. Watch out for the urchins, sucking the apples, blowing back. And if you've got some good luck here, you'll be able to take this boss out within only a few cycles here. But you have to be on your game. You have to watch and observe and know exactly what's coming here. Keep an eye on both sections of the screen, top and bottom at the same time. That's why you got two eyes. So that's 3 boss fights out of the way with no damage. We're cooking now, but here comes the dreaded 4th one. Oh my god, we got a tough one here. Now, the lead up to it is not very difficult. You can fly through it within seconds, probably 30 seconds or less. It's extremely easy here. Go through, you're going to have a little mini spike section here you can float through. There's the urchin, touch the Kirby, and we're now through to almost the boss fight. Just got a couple enemies, you don't even have to worry about those top 2. And here we are again with the magic conch, so immediately pick it up, move in close, and get as many shots unabated at the boss as you can before he starts firing projectiles here. Once again, try your best to avoid projectiles, because the more health you have for the final boss, the better you're going to fare. I will tell you right now, by the way, if you don't have at least 2 hit points, don't attempt to fight King Dedede. It's just too difficult, and unless you're a god at this game, it's just, don't do it. Speaking of Triple D, here we go, let's have the boss fight. Now let's talk about some patterns here. As you're going to see, he jumps at you. Usually it's once or twice. He'll also do hammer shots at you here. The big thing to keep in mind is that all of his attacks, virtually all of them, will have stars that come out, and that's how you're going to damage this boss here. Every time a star gets thrown out, make sure that you inhale it and shoot it back as quickly as you can, with the exception of when he jumps up in the air, because oftentimes, as I said, he'll do it twice. Don't take the chance of shooting it back immediately, because if you shoot the first time, oftentimes you'll miss. That's pretty bad too. He'll inhale you and then shoot you back. If I only had 1 health bar, I would have died, obviously. So you gotta be very, very careful. This is by no means a gimme boss fight. You need to be aware of his patterns. You need to know what to expect and when to jump, when to avoid, and when to stand your ground and get ready to shoot the stars back out. Speaking of which, you probably noticed some of these patterns already here. If you see Triple D running at you with the hammer, you know it's going to be a hammer strike. If he's running at you without the hammer, he's going to dash and dive at you like this, or he'll get close enough to inhale you. That's when you absolutely want to get out of the way here. Sometimes he'll go on an inhaling spree, and you definitely want to avoid those, especially in my case. You gotta be very careful also if he has the hammer and you're up in the air, because what he'll try to do is jump up in the air and swipe you out of the air. So stay on the ground as often as you can. Ooh, that was close. Almost lost it right there. Be very careful. When you get down to 1 health bar and he's got 1 or 2, it's gonna get very difficult, especially in the last half here. We're gonna be moving for our lives basically here. We've come so close. We've got like 20-30 minutes into this playthrough, but it doesn't matter anymore, because we just took him out and we just took down this challenge for one of the most difficult Game Boy games remaining on this list here. Kirby's Dream Land, challenge number 1, complete, in the books, on extra hard mode. Very difficult game, but also very, very fun game. Have to play through it, although I do recommend the NES game a little bit over this one. So thank you guys so much for watching as always. Take care, and looking forward, I know we keep saying we've got Super NES games on the horizon, but there's only so many of these left, so we're going to have to get to them eventually. Could the next one be the one? The only way to know is to tune into the next video. Have a good one.